Code generation. Writing, reviewing, editing, and answering questions about code is one of the primary use cases for OpenAI models today. This guide walks through your options for code generation. Codex is OpenAI's series of AI coding tools that help developers move faster by delegating tasks to powerful cloud and local coding agents. So you have two things here. You can either use the cloud version of it, or you can actually locally set up your coding agent. Interact with Codex in a variety of interfaces in your IDE through the CLI on web and mobile sites, or in your CI/CD pipelines with the SDK. Codex is the best way to get agentic software engineering on projects. That's just their marketing line here. But let's just move on. Codex models are LLM specifically trained at coding tasks, which by the time we should know that Codex is specifically designed for Codex tasks. If you're asking something that is not related to writing tasks, maybe write a blog post, it might not do well rather than other models that OpenAI has. They power Codex and you can use them to create coding specific application. For example, let your end users generate code. That is pretty neat when you think of it. For example, you can let your users generate code, end users, which basically means let's say you provide something like a prompt in your applications where the end users can use this. That is pretty neat. Get started. You have two ways to start. First one is use Codex out of the box for coding agents. The second one is integrate with coding models. So what they mean by Codex out of the box is connect your code-based Codex and accelerate your project using software engineering agents. You can actually do that. You can actually click and go there. I think we'll get to this sooner. Integrate with coding models. Use OpenAI models in your applications. Add them to a model picker, for instance. I don't actually get this, but we'll see in later sessions. Use Codex. Codex has an interface in the browser similar to ChatGPT where you can kick off coding tasks that run in the cloud. Visit ChatGPT Codex to use it. Codex also has an IDE extension, CLI and SDK to help you create coding tasks whichever environment makes the most sense for you. For example, the SDK is useful for Codex in CI/CD pipelines. The CLI, on the other hand, runs locally from your terminal, can read, modify, and run code on your machine. See Codex documentation for quick starts, referencing, pricing, and more information. Integrate with coding models. OpenAI has several models trained specifically to work with code. GPT 5.1 Code Max is our best agentic coding models. That said, many OpenAI models excel at writing, editing code as well as other tasks. Use Codex models if you only want it to coding related, as I said earlier. Here's an example that codes GPT 5.1 Max, that the model that powers Codex. So here you can see the model and you're asking a coding question. You want the effort to be high, of course. You don't want it to be low. Learn more about 5.1 Codex in the blog post. So you can actually learn about it in their blog post and read the GPT 5.1 Codex Max prompting guide to start building with it. So you can actually, if you have a guide, like a prompting guide, I think it's best to go through it. So this will must be helpful for you. So the next steps, visit the Codex docs to learn what you can do with the Codex, set up Codex in whichever interface you choose, or find more details. So as they say, like, go to the docs and read stuff. I am reading this basically to get what's there. So basically you have a long set of tools. It doesn't necessarily mean you will be, efficient with it, but you know what's there. That's pretty much good. Learn more about GPT 5.1 and its variants. Visit 5.1 Codex page to compare models. We will get there soon. So for now, let's tune out.